yo. Yo, 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 yo. Anyways, we live at our times. Today's Chafei Ir. It's actually my birthday. But, you know, Coops was born. Who the fuck cares? Whatever. Anyways, so I learned a bunch of stuff. I don't remember anything, but it's interesting. I just got a letter from the Rebbe. You know, I don't even have patience to do this, but I got a letter from the Rebbe. Rebbe says, he said, how great is your lectures? The whole letter, your lectures are awesome or something. And congratulations on the Ufaratsta program. Ufaratsta was interesting because the 591 Lefferts were born. My father just passed away. The Shiva may have this cheers in honor of my father. May have Elu Neshama. L'chaim Aaron, Avrohom Aleim L'chaim Aaron, L'chaim Aaron she'elem Elu Neshama. But he was 591, so it was amazing. 591, my father's friend would say 591 is Gematria Kol Yisrael. That's exactly where my father was for 40 straight years. He would bring in one guest after another guest, another guest. One of my father's friends over here, I had a bunch of my father's friends. They didn't let me out of the country because, you know, that's the way the Erev Rav is. What are you going to do? You think they have souls? You think they have hearts? You think, they give a damn? But, let's not focus on these crackheads. Let's get back to the good. We can look in the cup half full or half empty. When the Rebbe had a heart attack, the doctor came in and started saying to the Rebbe, you have a 50% chance of dying. And the Rebbe said, Rabbi Schneerson, did you hear me? And he said, yeah, I have a 50% chance of living. He said, we always look at the cup half full or half empty. There's always good and we might even have an equal amount of good and evil at the same time. There's an inyan from the Varmachos, the Rebbe is talking about Galus and Gula at the same time, a situation with Galus and Gula at the same time, which is now actually in the Gula Shlemus Mitis, infinitely more in the Gula Shlemus Mitis, and the Galus is just doing with all their energy, just doing everything. The Satan's going crazy, just to keep up the facade and the distortion of that, the truth and reality. Astarav, Hashem is Barach, there ain't no Mavad, everything Hashem is Barach. Like the Rebbe said in another Sikha, actuality is Gula Shlemus Mitis. Nothing more natural than Gula Shlemus Mitis. Everything Gula Shlemus Mitis, everything Hashem is doing, everything is the way of Hashem. But they like to play makeup, dress up in games. Good actors and actresses, congratulations, you won the Oscars and whatever. But the only truth is Hashem is Barach. And the only thing that's happening, the only what Hashem is Barach, exactly what Hashem is Barach, is Hashem knows exactly what He's doing, and everything Hashem is exact, everything till the last, Prut v'pruta. The story of Rayatz, with the flower fell, is always Bashem to Rayatz, similar story, where the leaf fell, and he was walking with, one of his chassidim, two rabbis walking together. I'm not sure, it's one story, maybe it was in one of the most beautiful savers with the Rebbe Rayatz, Lekuti Diburim, I think was in this, he was giving over the story where the leaf fell. And he said, look, he wanted to show, the Rebbe wanted to show how everything's shkach bas b'di'eg. He said, look under the leaf, and what was under the leaf? There was a worm, an ant, I don't remember, or it could have been worm, ant, who knows, I don't remember, I don't have photographic memory, excuse me. But Hashem put the leaf to fall to give the shade to the ant and or the worm. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Hashem does for all of His creations. Hashem loves all of His creations, does for all of His creations. Hashem has Rahmanut, even Rahmanut on evil, and gives everybody a chance. It's like one of the things we're talking about. I was coming from the Beit Knesset, one of the rabbis was stating how the inyan of Paro, Pera, Chulu is the inyan Priya is to offset the Klipa of Paro, is Pera, Lashana, Matzishema. But one inyan Paro was, the inyan we were discussing that Hashem hardened Paro's heart. So what do we see? It was Hashem hardened Paro's heart. Why does Hashem have to harden Paro's heart? because at that point, you already saw Etzbahu Hashem Elokeinu, that everything's Hashem Yisbarach, the Etzbah Hashem Yisbarach. They clearly saw there was Hashem. They put the Chatumim and the Kishufim, Chulu, and he saw that Moshe Rabbeinu's staff turned into steak, and they ate all their other snakes. And they tried to replicate the blood river. They couldn't do any of this stuff. They saw there's clearly Hashem Yisbarach. It says Avayo Lo Yudu. So he knew that there's a God, but they believe they can manipulate God. They knew Elokim. But the Balatani comes and says 86. Elokim is 86. Gematria Hateva. If I'm off, excuse me. I don't have photograph memory like I stated before. So, anyways, so Hashem hardened powers. Why does Hashem have to harden? Because he already saw everything that Hashem is about. But we see the Rahmanut that Hashem had even the power. They gave him Chofesh Bchira to the last second. He gave all the makot and all these things at the point where Hashem had to harden, power is hard. He says enough is enough. You did the deed, now you're going to pay the price. The same minyan achshav, the same thing's happening now. You did the deed, all your screwballs, and now you're going to pay the price and all these evil that exists. You're doing the deed, you continue doing the deed, and you don't bocher b'Hashem Yisbarach, you don't bocher b'Melech HaMashiach. So now it gives man l'shalem et the and now Hashem takes away your choice. You don't have any choice anymore. You're still going to be a kraken. You're still going to be a screwball. And same thing, at that point, power probably would have gave in and would have said, I clearly see everything's Hashem is back. I'll do whatever Hashem wants. But before that, obviously, you think about how could power B'chlal even do these things? How stupid can a person be? Stupid is, stupid does. Like Rav Forrest, going out of Forest states. So, obviously he didn't see what's happening. So he saw everything. Hashem had to harden his heart. And to begin with, we see this stupid because he believed he was Hashem Yisbarach himself. Same thing with the Satan. Today, he believes he's Hashem Yisbarach himself. And there's the Inyan Tzani, Ma'ala'af, HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ochet Chalein. Another Inyan, Shel HaNavim HaNavi Giz Ma'Gulaschem, Shel HaNavim Ba'Navim, Agir Lechem Et Gulaschem, Why Ba'Navim? Yanishichem lo ma'ala'af is ba'anavim ba'anivut. We have to have, everything on nivut and pashtan on nivut. Second, we get into the egotistical in Yeshus. Yesh the inyan is like Zon Gula, Yeshus. Chametz. Almost is puffed up, egotistical, ani. And the anivut is Matzah is Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi, like there's another place, or Satan, or Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi. So obviously, Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi says, so it's Ratzon Shel Hashem Yisbarach, and this is Gula Shnei Mitis, this is the inevitability, and Ein Inyan Shel Stara, because the Ein On Mavado, even like I was stating at my friend's house, I was sitting at my friend's house, I was stating that the Goyim was stating in another place, I was stating that, like the Rebbe knew exactly what he's doing. And the Rebbe was busy setting up. His Rebbe Elionavi, Mashiach ben Yosef, and Chelik with Mashiach ben David, or together with Mashiach ben David. So the Rebbe was busy setting up all these Beit Chabad all over the world. And it might even be the same dimensions of the parameters of what Yecheskel talks about, if you look at it from Lama'ala, because the parameters obviously don't make any sense if Yecheskel was either in a different world, or the world will be completely flattened, or it's actually like the Mepharish states that the whole world becomes Israel and Israel becomes Yerushalayim. So in that states, and you can be all the Shvatim be set up already according to all the Beit Chabad over the world. It could be the map of Yecheskel. Maybe, I don't know. Only Hashem knows these things. But what I was saying, which was very interesting, was that the Rebbe knew exactly what he was doing. The Rebbe was stating, the Rebbe Inyan Shegilui Elokus and Kodosh, and Kodesh Kedoshim, like the Rebbe says, Dvar Machos is Kodesh. You go into the Rebbe's office, it's Kodesh Kedoshim, Chulu Chulu Chulu. The Rebbe Kodesh, and like Rebbe Mordechai Eliyahu says, the Kohen Gadol. The Kodesh represents all Am Yisrael. You need three things in order for the Gula Shnei Mitis. That's Melech HaMashiach, Navi, and Kohen Gadol. And the Rebbe is kishor to all three of them. Rabbi's Kohen Gadol, and he's together with Mashiach ben David, and he's Mashiach ben Yosef, and he was Eliyahu Navi, because we're doing all this Nevuot 3 days before Mashiach comes, Eliyahu Navi will announce to the whole world that the Mashiach is here. And we already see the Rebbe already did this when, we had all the satellites, even before all the internet. The Rebbe was way ahead of the times. All these money should be going to the Rebbe, because, he created Facebook and Instagram and all these and the whatever, all these applications. The Rebbe was using the satellites. It was connected to all over the world, spreading Torah mitzvahs and doing the rallies all over the world. The Rebbe was announcing to the whole world that the Mashiach is already here. So all you have to do is open up your eyes, and you have the other just reading. You're already sitting at the table. Mashiach's again, ready drinking wine. You just have to open your eyes. They're always talking about around Mashiachistim. All of them. They're always talking about Rebbe Itgaleh, She'it Galut. Everybody believes that their Rebbe and their Tzaddik's Mashiach. But I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm going to get into is Galus Shemelech HaMashiach. Is the Mashiach is always mitgalim, and the Rebbe is mitgaleh because the inyan tzaddik lo met, the inyan chai v'kayam. And again, this was with my father as well. And my father is just finished the shiva with my father. My father, Pitom was getting bottles of seltzer. This is what my father drank. Pitom was a van that looked just like my father's van. Pops up right in front of my apartment. Then I see Ford cars, and my father only drove Ford. Then, so many things, the inyanim of Chai v'Kayam. So I was telling another people to say, no, it's not just the Rebbe, it's Chai, every tzaddik is Chai v'Kayam. Mitgaleh derech chasidim. So if someone was connected to Bava Sali, and they're connected to Bava Sali, and they're true chassid to Bava Sali, and the Bava Sali mitgaleh darkehem. Same thing with the Rebbe, to the true chassidim of the Rebbe. The Rebbe, you can, if they're thinking the Rebbe's thoughts and they're talking the Rebbe's words and they're ready and learning the Rebbe's Torah, his Torah is eternal. So Rebbe Chavikam, you're talking to the Rebbe. It gets to those points where you're hitting where it's actually the Rebbe talking, and the Rebbe mitgaleh darkehem. So the inyan shel chai v'kayam. So his galus is always happening. And his galus Melech Mashiach is happening. You just have to open up, like exactly what the Rebbe says. You have to open up. You're already sitting at the table. You're already drinking wine. You're already talking to Melech Mashiach. You're just blind. You have to open up. Hashem has to open up your blind eyes and deaf ears, because his galus is always happening. It's happening all the time. I was in the Inyan of Pesach. I was walking to Pesach. He told me the Ma'abel happens in the middle of the day. You're walking through Kiryat Yamsuf. Kiryat Yamsuf is exactly the same day as the Kiryat Yamsuf have. Exactly the same time. Exactly the same thing. If you're paying attention, you see what it says. Everything's Hashem Yisbarach, everything's Simanim, everything's Shkach Patas and Deeket, and it's all Hashem Yisbarach doing all these things, all happening. But I will go back to my previous point where the Rebbe was setting up the parameters for Beis Malchus David with all the Shlichim is Kishor LeMashiach, Kishor LeRuach Aleim Merchevet B'nei HaMayim, and Melech Mashiach's Ruach Aleim Merchevet B'nei HaMayim. So the Inyan of Mashiach and Shlich is connected. So this is the inyan of the shlichim of Beis Malchus David, connected to Beis Malchus David. And what was the point? I was saying that the goyim, that the Gentiles understand the inyan because they want to go to the ambassador of the country. Something happens, they want to go. Who do they go? They go to Shliach Chabad. What happened to the Israeli ambassador? What happened to the Zimbabwe ambassador? What happened to the American? They don't give it. They know the truth. Beis Malchus, they see the truth. So they're way ahead of Am Yisrael. So it's time for Am Yisrael to open up the damn blind eyes and damn deaf ears. Because Mashiach was here a long time ago. Stop with the shtiyot and stupidity. Stop. Hashem gave you a pea in your brain to use it. Where was it? So we get back. I get back messages. See, go back to, so I just saw another message that is all good. Go back to my father, talk about the greatness of my father. As saying, Chesed Avrohom, Yavod Gula. My father is Chesed, just like Avrohom Avinu, infinite Chesed, 40 straight years, it's just guest after guest after guest. You have a Shliach over here, he come, a lot of people came to Menachem over me, respect my father. There's a Shliach over here, was staying with my father 11 years. We say, you have big balabatim in Crown Heights that invite people over and have golden toilet seats, and everybody loves to stay by them, and they have whatever. I said, but I go to Papa Coops. You know why I go to Papa Coops? Because in Papa Coops is called Yisrael. In Papa Coops you feel at home. He give you here's the key or the code, whatever the code was, 770 or 591. And he says, and take some seltzer if you want, and have the sugar-free cake, And he said, there I felt bad, Shamay, I buy it. So this is my father, this is where my father was, and how much chesed and good. Everybody, he lifted me, taking care of me my whole life. And, one of the guys who came to Menachem Avram, he said, your father, everything, father, your parents, how much kibbud avim you have to have for your parents, and they're always caring about you, and always doing for you, and everything they're doing everything for chulu, chulu, chulu. So he's saying, okay, how much, when a parent moves to Olam Hamet, how much, how big of a deal it is. So I said to him, inyan shechai v'kayam, that they're not only taking care of you when they're alive, after they go up and then they're sitting in their abode above, in their awesome abode above in peace. My Father have awesome peace with Hashem Yisbarach. They're taking care of you from Lamala now. And my Father, Aryeh Gadol, Avrohom Aryeh Gadol, so Aryeh Gadol, the lion in Zion. So the lion came, the big lion. The Aryeh is here, man. And my Father, actually, Mamash Ari, he didn't want to mess with my father, As much chesed as he had, he would take down the whole 770 just to be a little bit closer to the Rebbe. This is how much love my father had to the Rebbe, and this is how great of a chesed my father was. And then I was talking about how he suffered so much the last 5 years, and he suffered, had to have a bunch of surgeries, and he had to go in a wheelchair, and he suffered bunch of issues, a heart attack and diabetes and stomach issues. I'm not going to get into all these things, but even that he would, he would go in a wheelchair. He'd go in a wheelchair down to the Beit Knesset to pray in the Beit Knesset. So my father's friend was telling me you go on Shabbat to go to pray in Beit Knesset, you do everything to say the Gullus doesn't exist. It's only Gula. You go, and then after the Shabbat, after I was telling this to people, I see a guy going in a wheelchair to the Beit Knesset. And right after I ran down a bunch of times at Beit Knesset too, I said, Koch Ari, Koch my father. I said Kaddish. I said went to the Kotel, said Kaddish like 30 times, So, do my ishtadlut with the call of my father. What else did I want to say? So this ties into a dream I had as well. So the dream I had was, it was a dream, I believe, could have been from Hashem Yisbarach. Maybe the Rebbe was involved in the dream as well. But the dream was telling me basically, I saw my friends hanging out in my house, and they were saying basically, on the Beit Knesset, make the Beit Knesset Machdu 770, make your Beit Knesset 770, and Mach your house, Machdu Crown Heights, make your house Crown Heights, and then after that is the greatest. My father said Machdu Chamesh Teishacha, Machdu Cho Yisrael, and the Rebbe in the letter was actually amazing what the Rebbe is saying. Congratulations, the Ufaratzta program. I grew up in Lefferts. And Lefferts is Otiot Ufaratzta, Ufaratz Yom HaKoma, it's a fond of a negma. This is the whole inyan of Avis Yisrael Amiti, and this is the inyan of Gula, when you have Avis Yisrael Amiti, Chuv Hey, Chuv Ha, Hey to Hey return to Yud Kei Vav Kei, connecting to Yud Kei Vav, Hey. And I believe the Gemara Yud-Kei Vav Kei is 11:1 is 13:26. Yud-Kei Vav Kei. So when we have Avos Yisrael, we're coming to Tshuva, and this is have Avos Yisrael, and the way we see this from my father, the great Avos Yisrael, Chesed, and how much he did, and there's so many things. I'm getting messages from people. Your father's a great man. How much Chesed he did for everybody, and people know so many things we don't know. The great things my father did. And this is Avos Yisrael, which brings it to Tshuva, Hey. And like the Rayat states, immediately Tshuva, immediately redemption is in the Gulish Nefesh Amitis. And also when the great lion comes to Eretz Yisrael, in the Gulish Nefesh, I forgot, it says something, I saw that somewhere in one of the Navis, Ad Sha'ariyah Gadol Yavo. Sha'ariyah Gadol is here. So let's see the message of Hashem Yisbarach, Yom Yom, live at our times. Let's see, my birthdays are Yom Yom. Hashem will bless me with some good wine, and then the good birthday parties, some good birthday faduts. some brachos, the brachos will come in. So at Hashem, 25 years. So this is a beautiful Yom Yom. So read it really quick. The Alter Rebbe delivered the following Maimon Liozna in the year 5555, 1795. Wow. What's amazing? 591. Hashkacha brought to me at 591, 1795. Take out the 7. It's 591. 7. You put 7 for 770. Multiply by 10. 770. No, multiply 100. 770. Multiply, and then you got the 5s. All the 5s, man. Connection to 591. Kol Yisrael. Chamesh Echad. Lefertz. Ufaratzta. Tzafat. The Gula starts with Tzafat. Ufaratzta. And then we got 919 over here is Inyan Shashlemut. I just saw so this Rebbitzin giving you a share on this. 9, so it's 919 over here is written 900. War for mitzvah is a mitzvah. So it's another Inyan, the proof of Gula Shtam is that we have to know, we have to stop being idiots. That in the Gula Shtam is the Rebbe talks about how Hashem's going to stovev the planets and everything, that everything in the Navi already happened. We already see everything. It says, there's going to be food hanging. You're just thinking of food hanging trees. Well, if the food's coming to you, bekalut, you're already at the point, you have the supermarkets, already food like it's hanging from the trees, and you had the money for it. And like this is in the beginning, if the Gentiles already know, and like one of the rabbis says the Gentiles are only supporting Chabad or true Torah foundation, they're not even giving to their bullshit religions anymore, because they know this is the truth. So in Inyan, this is the Inyan that each Jew is going to have thousands and thousands of Dim B'Shvilhem. Means that they're going to be doing for them. They're going to be supporting them learning them, because we're going to be the priests of the nations of the world, teaching them Torah and creating this peace and love and harmony in the world, starting from our homes and Shalom Bayit, and starting from within ourselves, peace within ourselves, which is based on Mikdash HaShishim, peace in our homes, which is based on Shalom Bayit, Shechina B'tochim is based on Mikdash HaShlishi, and Shechanti B'tochim is within you. When I'm holy, Hashem is holy, so you're holy yourself. When you have a skafia, and when you give up your taiva, that's like a korban to Hashem Yisbarach, as being korbanul Hashem Yisbarach, goes up, and it goes up because you have Avos Yisrael, goes up to Hashem Yisbarach, chulu chulu chulu. We don't have it, then talks about the Tzam Tzedek, the 7 psukim says Hashem doesn't accept. But you have love to your fellow, so then your schafia is accepted, and your korban is accepted, and your tefillot, the words of your mouth, is the korbanot as well. You have all these inyanim, and then you have love. So you're Beit HaMikdash within yourself, and then when you have a beautiful, significant other or others, and you have Shalom Bayit, Shechanti B'toch is the base of Mikdash HaShlishi. When you have Mitzvah B'Yidu, you bring your infinite into the finite, and Selo Dir B'Tachtona, you're making Hashem dwelling place below. And then when you mitgale these Beit HaMikdash, then you'll be able to see and realize, and Hashem will open up your blind eyes, and definitely be able to see and realize, and be able to manifest the physical Beit HaMikdash Mamash, already way past Mamash. But yalla. Alright. So anyways, the word for mitzvah is a mitzvah. So anyways, the word Hashem is spinning the planets, making the planets, everything's going flying. You do mitzvah, it says that Hashem is going to make the fruits, you plant the seeds and the fruits go right away. You can see from the trees right away. So the Rebbe comes and says, talking about this is Torah mitzvot. When you do mitzvah, you can see the fruits of your labors and come right away. So this we see today. You do mitzvah right away, things are happening, and it used to take time. It doesn't take any time now. You see, test this out. You do mitzvah. I think the Tanya was talking about the power of the mitzvah today. You do a mitzvah, the fruits are right away. You see things happening right away. You get this is like I get a bottle of wine right away. Bottle of wine is going to show up. This is the way it happens. I gave some tzedakah with zchut abba v'saleh, zchut abba v'saleh kadosh. I didn't 10 tzedakah zchut abba v'saleh kadosh. I should have a bottle of arak. The same day I got a bottle of arak. See? Because we're already in the Gula. Things are happening chick-chock where there's no, you get my point. And I can just get into one more inyan, the mitzvahs yom yom before, just the inyan we have to understand the greatness of what it is and the profoundness of what it is to do a mitzvah and to do a mitzvah for a fellow Jew. That the Baal Shem Tov, believe the Baal Shem Tov, the Baal Shem Tov, the Rebbe brings it down at Yom Yom. That person can live 70 years just to do a mitzvah, a physical favor to another. So that's insane because we think this is important, that's important, this is important. The Baal Shem is coming up, whatever. Cut the garbage out and to do a mitzvah for another, obviously, so that's what you put here for. You can be 70 years just to do one good deed, a physical favor for another. And then at the end it says, and how much more so spiritually. But you first start, first you have to give the tzaddikim would come, they'd give tzedakah before they even pray. See, with the Rebbe, they always give tzedakah before tefillot, and there's other tzaddikim, they would go out to the fields, they give tzedakah before they pray, and other rabbim, they give tzedakah, because you first, you first start with, you first do, this is the way the Baal Shem Tov, don't even approach someone in spirituality if you're not going to do for them physically. If you're not going to take a bullet for them, don't bother a person. But if you're going to do for them physically and you care about them and you love them, and so then you can come to how much more so and how much more and infinitely more so. It's tzedakah Elya, which is the love and light of Hashem Yisbarach, to bring people, to lift people up, to bring people closer, to give you the aura and self over to your fellow brothers and sisters, to bring them closer to Hashem Yisbarach, and to clothe their naked souls with the love and light of Hashem Yisbarach, which is Torah mitzvot. As well as the physical, both of dir b'tachtona, the physical, like I think I said a million times already, the physical inyan of giving tzedakah is dir b'tachtona, because you give the coin is yud, and your hand is another yud kei vav, because the hand is hey, the arm is vav, and the other person's hand is another hey, yud kei vav kei. You bring God down to this world, dwelling place for this world, and the whole purpose of the world, and the reason Hashem created it. First we had a Beit Mikdash, and then you have the blueprint of the Torah, not the exact Seder. But the point I was reading in my Sefer of the Beit HaMikdash is that the Beit HaMikdash is before everything, that this was the whole purpose, this is the whole point of all the worlds, is to create the dwelling place of Hashem Yisbarach, which is dir b'tachtona, seli dir b'tachtona, chulu, chulu, chulu. So let's just finish over here. The very essence of the mitzvah is itself the reward for the mitzvah. And this is, I believe, today's Tanya was talking about. This is the mahut. This is who we are. This is mahut atzmuto shelanu. It's a mitzvah. It's Torah mitzvahs. When we do Torah mitzvot, then we feel alive. Then we have this chayus. Then we can feel Hashem Yisbarach, and we feel the closeness of Hashem Yisbarach. Otherwise, this is inyan we're talking about. Rebbe is galus elikus. So you can clearly see these things. So many things the Rebbe is doing is clearly impossible. Is only together with Hashem Yisbarach. Everything else is the inyan eino mavado. Everything's Hashem Yisbarach. But the Hashem Yisbarach is mitgaleh derech Torah mitzvah, derech tzaddik kedusha, like the Rebbe, tzaddik amiti, derech melech HaMashiach, chulu chulu v'chulu. So let's just finish over the very essence of the mitzvah itself. Is the reward for the mitzvah is this essence revealed in the ultimate future. That is only the principle of the mitzvah, which is preserved for the future. However, the few fruits of the mitzvah, which we're just talking about in the Gulish mitzvah, the fruits we see right away, are enjoyed by a person in this world. So used to take time, now having chick-chock is already in the Gulish mitzvah. This applies to every mitzvah, each in its own way. When the person who fulfills the mitzvah needs a particular influence, it receives it. So each mitzvah, this is the other inyan. We get into the third thing. We'll go back to my father. So this is the inyan that each represents Ba'atanis Kasos. It represents the arteries and the veins and all these things. We have 365 for the positive mitzvahs and 265 for the negative mitzvahs. So we're not going to get into that, but so each mitzvah has That's what I wanted to say. Forgetting what I wanted to say. Yeah, each mitzvah has a transformation about it and has an effect. There's a chayut and connects with mitzvah tzavs, connects to Hashem's barach, and the words of Torah is teva, and the words of Torah mitzvahs. You rise above the raging waters of the world. My Ram about the Abba nafshi and to the Teva, into the words of Torah mitzvot, mitzvah mechaberton, mitzvah tzavz mechaberton, Hashem Yisrael, and Torah rises above raging waters. We have this part of Shalom Nafshi and Menages, Bashin Chasidut, Chulu, Chulu, Chulu. What was the inyan I wanted to say? I wanted to bring in inyan because I saw two things. That was my chlata I made in honor of my fathers, my father Avrohom, Makasar, Chaim Aaron. Have an Elu in the Neshama. Chaim Aaron have an Elu in the Neshama. What was the Achlat? Because I saw in the halachot of Shiva, where I see that one of the even bigger than Kaddish is that they cause great onik to the soul. It gives great chayus and onik to the soul. A big smile on the face of the Neshama Lamala is when you do mitzvot in their honor. When you teach your children to do mitzvah in their honor, this is even bigger than Kaddish. It's written on the Chabad website. Hopefully I'm not making a mistake over here. So then I thought the chlata I wanted to do. Then I saw a video of the Rebbe was talking about anything is a choser. So it's interesting, mitzvah, the word of a mitzvah is mitzvah itself. So anything that's a choser in a person is in there because everything comes from Shabbat and all the brachas come from Shabbat. And it says that in multiple places. I forgot exactly, whatever. Ask some rabbi. So it says, any choses, I said, what's my achlata? In honor of my father. Then I'm going to try to asif as much as I can to asif. I had a beautiful, awesome Shabbat, this Shabbat, and infinitely better Shabbat, this Shabbat. I said, asif as much, I want to asif more. It says, many Shabbats, hanging out Friday night, and I'm conked out a lot in the day, But I said, I want to get more, get more into the day, more sudot, more lechaims, more good wine, get some more chim, see, maybe there'll be some nice woman interested in me. Who the hell knows? Adds woman mosif the Shabbat too. Is a woman the mosif in the Inyan, the Rebbe talks about the woman dresses up as you see for Hod V'Ada Shabbat, the beauty of Shabbat, the beautiful Shabbat, mitzvah behidur. When Inyan, the only Inyan the Rebbe talks about, you can't do generally everything. You can eat one steak, 2 steaks. Maybe someone's more fat can eat 3 steaks. You can sit in the car. You can sit in one car. You can only sit in one toilet at a time. Whether it's a golden toilet seat or not. But the Rebbe talks about how could you bring the infinite into the fine? It's mitzvah behidur. So part of that's mula medlach nedlach eshkidu merach. A nice Shabbos medlach, Shabbos queens, chulu. Whatever Hashem wants, I think everything Hashem does everything. You can't even lift a pinky without Hashem's bar. I said my whole things I want to end. Maybe I'd love to do. Maybe Shabbat Sudot. Maybe have a small place, maybe 10 people or something. Do Shabbat. People don't have Shabbat. So I was telling people, let's do Shabbat Sudot for Kilati. There's nobody to do, but whatever these things. I was thinking about it today. Is whatever you need money to do that. You need a lot of people involved. You need people know whatever. Not so simple anything. B'zat Hashem. But my whole inyan is in my chlotas to asif to add infinitely more to Shabbat. I said, what, I can add a lot more to Shabbat. Maybe a couple of more minutes in Beit Knesset. Get a couple more vaduts, whatever. There's more you can do. There's a lot you can add more. There's more, maybe more walks in the park. There's always more. There's always more you can see for Shabbat. More to the mitzvah behidur. Have better wine on Shabbat. Better fish, better everything. Or you could have the better tavlin. If your fish is the best, like the guy I go to, my friend, my brother visit Chaim, he has the best fish in the world. So how is he going to have more kedusha but the tavlin? Whatever, you get my point. So B'ezrat Hashem is the honor of my father. So, may God bless all the blessings. May God bless all Am Yisrael, kol brachot ayonim v'chtoinim. Infinite peace, calm, love, harmony, joy, kol tov gulinu shavlim v'oy, kol brachot ayonim v'chtoinim. Even though some Shabbats, Chagim, Sudododot, Sudod Mashiach, for harvest, for dues, Behuda, Mahuda, B'Shev, Simcha, Sham, Tuv Levav, Ki Ad HaMelech, Kol Brachot Yonim V'Tovim, Kol Shuot, Kef Ayin, Kol Gula Pratzim, Gula, Shem Zmitis, Mashiach, Besmit, Hashem, Zbar, Kuch, Bik, Rabban, Shalom, Melech, Macham, Lachem, Anolim, V'Vai, Eloheinu, V'Oin, Tzal, Baruch Hu, Amen, 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 L'Kol Am Yisrael, Amen, 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 Ken Yotzon, Amen, Etzal Aved, L'Chaim, 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 V'Livacha, V'Levaka, Bli Levaka, Ein Bracha, Bli L'Chaim, Ein Chaim, something like that. All the brachas, the Kol Am Yisrael. Happy birthday to me. L'Chaim, 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 V'Levaka, V'Livacha, Baruch Adonai Melech Haolam Shekol Niyah B'Vorah. Wow, nice, good arak from the Bava Sali, nice. I want the Bava Sali's, you put a towel over the arak and it would never end. That's what I want. May God bless.